And it's that time on a Thursday where we go off to the movies. James Luxford is here in the studio. How are you, sir?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Looking good. Thanks very much indeed. So, movie picks. James, film critic for the Radio Times in Metro newspaper. Stuff that's out in Cov Warwick cinemas this weekend. Where are we starting this week?
We are starting with Dora the Explorer, Dora and the Lost City of Gold, a live-action version of the Dora Explorer cartoon, where Dora encounters high school but must go back into her old life to find her missing parents.
We're on to something big, Dora.
An ancient city made of gold. Parapata. And your mother and I are going to prove it.
And me.
I'm sorry, sweetie, you're not going.
What?
Being in the city around kids your own age, like Diego, might help.
So you're going to get invited to some of these parties called raves. The music sounds like this.
Go
get it! Be careful. That's what we want to say.
Okay. I'm familiar with the cartoon from when my daughter was really small growing up. So what's this live action?
I really liked it. It's very straightforward, very kind of child focused, but a little bit like if you remember the old Scooby-Doo movies from about 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah. Freddie Prinze Jr. was one of the characters.
And it kind of sort of made fun of itself a little bit, because if you see in the cartoon, she says, "Can you say this Spanish word?" Okay. And there's a scene where she looks at the camera and says that, and her parents go, who's she looking at? and so it's that kind of self-referential kind of fun, but also I thought it was a kind of a beginner's kind of children's version of Indiana Jones. Okay. Just a lot of high concept action and a lot of fun, a lot of humour. It won't blow you away, but I think as for very young kids who want to get into kind of the adventure genre, it's a good introduction. Okay,
moving on from that, an adult comedy, but centred around a group of 12-year-olds. Tell us a bit about this.
Yeah, it's Good Boys. It's a hangover-style adult comedy seen through the eyes of three 12-year-olds who are trying to prevent getting grounded after breaking their parents' prized drone. And now in this clip, the producer Seth Rogen is explaining to the stars whether they can see it or not.
Hey kids, as you know, I am one of the producers on your movie Good Boys, and unfortunately I'm here with bad news. You guys cannot watch the trailer for your own movie.
What? Are you serious? Are you kidding?
It's just too messed up for kids your age. There's drugs, there's violence, there's swearing, and although we've decided it's okay for you to do these things in the movie, you can't watch yourselves do them in the trailer. Welcome to Hollywood.
So, Seth Rogen, obviously very funny, done loads of stuff, but does this movie cut through?
I liked it. I think it focused a little bit too much on the rude humour, just in terms of not really progressing the story. I was a little uncomfortable to begin with because these are kids in very adult situations, but they use that kind of ignorance you have when you're 12, when you think you know it all but you actually don't know anything, to where that's where the comedy comes from. So they come across, should we say, a lifelike doll of sorts, and one of them goes, "I know what this is, it's a CPR dummy." And so it's that kind of innocence to it, with some swearing in it, with some sort of drug references and things. But it's that kind of movie, and I think they protect the kids enough for you to laugh without feeling too guilty about it.
It's a difficult line to tread, isn't it, between sort of making something that would be funny, that parents would find funny and kids would want to go and see, but also not appearing to be a bit juvenile at the same time.
Yeah, and I think they rein it in towards the end, and it is a movie about growing up and about that awkward stage where all these boys are still children, but they're about to go headfirst into teenage years and don't really want to. Adolescence, that's it. Yeah. And they don't really want to talk about, they really kind of just still want to be kids. And so that's a nice part of the story, and I think just about it works.
Okay. DVD pick for us for the weekend then?
Yes, a spy drama starring Judi Dench. It's called Red Joan, and she plays a retiree who is revealed to be a Russian informant during the Second World War.
I haven't done anything wrong.
There's a file on you, starting in 1938, when you went to Cambridge University.
The world was so different then. You've no idea.
I'm looking for a personal assistant. You come highly recommended. First-class certificate.
Specialising in theoretical physics.
Even members of the cabinet don't know what we do.
Am I allowed to know what you do?
It's got Judi Dench in it. It's going to be all right, isn't it?
Yeah, she's fantastic, and I've got a little bit of a personal connection to this,
Go on.
if you like. The house that half of the film is based in, Judi Dench's house in the film, is my nan's house in Surrey. Yep, they knocked on her door one day and said, "We really like your house. We'd like to use it for our new film." Her and her dog's in a hotel, and that's it. It was a very surreal experience. I took my mum to the screening, and we're sort of nudging each other all the way through. This is where we had, Christmas dinner one year and things like that. Exactly.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's a cool claim to fame. Look, just before I let you go this afternoon, I noticed a tweet you put up a little bit earlier on today. We were talking a bit about this after 5 o'clock. The news that Warwickshire Pride posters and flags advertising the events this weekend in Leamington have been torn down across Leamington. Online abuse also increased ahead of Warwickshire Pride weekend. I know you've got a strong connection, haven't you, to the organisation, to the events. How did that make you feel when you heard that?
It makes me feel sad. It also, I experienced abuse around Warwickshire, and it's quite recently Warwickshire Pride were the people I reached out to, and they said, here is the people to contact, here is the people to report whatever in whatever level you want. You're not alone. And, to a lot of people, particularly younger people, places like Coventry Pride, which is fantastic.
Well, you're wearing your Coventry Pride little bracelet there today.
Exactly. And, but to younger people, and I've seen it, these prides are, on a very superficial level, a place to meet people like you. On a very serious level, they're a lifeline. And it does make me sad, because I know Dan and all of the people at Warwickshire Pride work very hard all year round, not just when the shops have rainbow logos. And for a community where often people can feel very isolated and like no one cares, they are a bit of a bit of a lifeline, as I said.
Good stuff. Dan, you've heard to there, Daniel Brown is the chair of Warwickshire Pride. Going to be hearing from him after 5 this afternoon. James, as ever, good to see you. Thanks so much indeed. And you can read James' reviews every week. Metro newspaper and Radio Times magazine.
BBC Coventry and Warwickshire Travel.
Minute to 5.